Spencer, how about taking that pile of dirt, acting like a man, not the poor little Spencer that you act like you are, that kid that I put up with for 5 years, but man up, take it to arbitration and let's go. And yeah, I'll just say it. Shut up.
No, David, I will not beat you in court again. I've already done this. We don't need to go back, okay? I don't need to beat you again in court. I don't know why you're so... For someone that has lost every single court battle they've ever had against me, you are really obsessed with going back to court. I don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. I do know why. It's because you don't want me to drop my hour-long documentary that I referenced in the last video, which, by the way, everything I said in the last video still stands. I don't want to be having this conversation, but I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lord, forgive me, audience, okay? When somebody drops not one, not two, not three, 4 video responses about responding to me, okay, from my last video. By the way, I think I talked about David for all of 25 seconds, and he dropped 4 videos in response. 4. I have to say something. I can't say nothing. So here we are, David. I'm not going to take you back to court and win again. Okay, I'm just going to, how about we go to the court of public opinion? Why don't we do that? So in this video, I'm going to break down one of David's response videos because frankly, I don't have time, David, to break down all 4 of your stupid videos, okay? I don't know why you did 4 of them. And also, why are you posting this on a burner account? Like, are you really this scared of me that you have to post on a burner account? You don't want me to go after your normal YouTube channel? Like a man? Okay, you have to put it on some random account you haven't uploaded in 4 years? Be a man, dude. Put it on a real account. But anyways, regardless of that, I'm going to break down one of David's response videos, and I'm going to tell you what's true and what's not true with as much evidence as I can. I'm going to give you my opinion on that. And I'm going to tell you this, David. This is the first victory you have gotten in our dispute in the last 2 years, really ever. And that win is, David, I'm going to take 10 minutes out of my day from making millions of dollars with my company, traveling the world to public speak and talk at these amazing events, hang out with my beautiful girlfriend, do everything else that I do. I'm going to take 10 minutes out of that and respond to you. So congratulations, David. You have earned 1 win. You are now 1 for 587, okay? And yeah, so I'm going to break down this video. Let's just dive into it.
Spencer, this video is directly for you. It is the very end of the day. I am absolutely exhausted here, but I'm going to go ahead and respond to your video that was brought up to me by someone on my team. So first of all, I'm going to call you out on something just flat out. Well, I first of all want to agree with you. I'm not mad. You tell me numerous times I can't be mad at you in the video. So,
David, I never said you were mad. Clearly you're mad. You don't post 4 response videos if you're not mad. I don't know why that's hard. It's okay if you can be mad. It's okay. The first step to recovery is admission. It's fine that you're mad. We can move past that. I don't know. I never said you were mad. In fact, here's exactly what I said in my last video. David and I had several disagreements. He took quite a bit of money from me and from several other people I know. I'm not going to get into the details of that in this video. And David, because I know with pretty much 100% certainty you're going to watch this video, I will tell you, I'm going to go on record and say this. I am not intending on publicly talking about this ever again. With that being said, as Drake would allude to, I have a red button, and I'm happy to press the red button if it gets to that. About 18 months ago, I recorded a 1 hour and 4 minute documentary that was professionally edited, exposing every single thing that has ever happened. I have zero intention of releasing that, David, but if there's any type of public, you come after me or anything, I'm gonna happily release it. So again, clearly, I never said you were mad. I don't know where you're getting this from.
You mentioned in the video that you bought me a house. You've mentioned that several times before. Can you show me the funding on where you did that? Because you and I are remembering things way differently.
Okay, again, as you can just go watch my other video on YouTube. I didn't say anything about your house. I don't know where you're even getting this from. But let's clear this up. Since you brought it up, let's talk about this. David, I did not buy you a house. Are you happy? There you go. You bought your own house. Now, you did happen to use all the money that you earned from, surplusfund.com and the company that we built together to get that. So in some ways, I did indirectly help you buy a house. Sure, but I never even claimed that. So I don't know why you're bringing this up. Obviously, someone's a little sensitive about their house. But David, you own your own home. I own 0% of your property. If we go back to court, maybe I'll own some more of it.
I will tell you what I remember. Well, before I met you, I was a high school math teacher on a teacher's salary. I did an FHA loan, 3% down, bought a house with my wife, and then we sold that house later on. And I can even show you where the funding was, and went on to our next chapter in life, which you had nothing to do with. You and I were at that time business partners, but you had nothing to do with the actual purchase of my new property. But I guess my question to you, and
Okay, now again, David, you're right. I did not help you buy your house. I'm not sure why we're talking about this point. I never claimed that. But there is one other important detail here, David. I think you're forgetting the fact, because you bring up you're a high school teacher. Yes, you were, David. You were a high school teacher. And you were trying to quit for 10 years, David. You were trying to stop being a high school teacher, okay? You told me you hated everything about that job. And guess what? You could not make enough money consistently to quit that job until your boy walked into the building and started making millions of dollars with you and gave you a consistent few $100,000 a year that you could finally quit and walk away from teaching forever, move your family over to Texas, and get out of California, all like you dreamed of. So I did not buy you a house, but how are you gonna argue I didn't have a huge impact on your life? I obviously did, okay? And you had a huge impact on my life. I never said you didn't.
prove me wrong here, I'm calling you out on it right now, are you getting your story mixed up? Are you getting some wires crossed in your head? And I say that because you had approached me prior about your family not being able to afford a house in Mission Viejo. Your family needed down payment assistance, which I, at the time, gladly gave them down payment assistance. I'm putting that check up on the screen. I'll even put a copy of the title report that will show that within a certain parameter of time that check was cashed in Mission Viejo, that your family had to deal with that. So and again, I looked up records. I'm not out.
Okay, David has this weird obsession with taking credit for things. So let me clear up the story for everybody. So when I was 19 years old, I had saved up about $40,000 in cash for my previous business ventures. Not bad for a 19-year-old. I also earned my real estate license, and at the time, my family were all renters. We'd always been renting our entire life. My mom's dream was to buy a house. Some of you guys already know this story. So I put together all of my money, $40,000, and I gave my parents the commission that I would have earned on the real estate deal, which was about $25,000, to use that towards buying the house. So I gave my parents, let's just call it $60,000, I think it's a little bit more, as well as negotiated the terms, did all of the legwork for them, and restarted my life at zero again, okay? Now, at 19, it's not a big deal, but that's the story. Now, what David's referencing is, even with doing all of that, we live in California, they lived in Southern California. It's very expensive to buy a house. And so I think we were short like $1,000 or $1,500 or something. And like I said, I had given literally all of my money away. Like I had no other option. So yes, I did call people. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really remember if David actually gave me the $1,000 or not. What he might be conflating here is another real estate deal we did around the same time, but that's neither here nor the point. Let's just assume he gave me the $1,000. Congratulations, David. Thank you for giving my parents $1,000 to, help buy our house. Now, what does that actually say, David? Let's just think about this, because I think this story, at least the way you're portraying it, is a great analogy for our relationship. So I come in and do 98% of the hard work. I give my parents $60,000. I find the house. I negotiate with the seller. I do all of the work. You come in, give $1,000, and then you claim that you bought my parents a house, okay? That is the perfect analogy for our time at Surplus, where I did all of the work, my efforts generated 99.999% of the money, and yet you still have the audacity to act like I didn't do these things and it was all you. Okay, David, well, what the fuck have you done since I've left? Absolutely nothing. That's what you've done. You've stolen from people, okay, or at least I've heard rumors, allegedly, Dave. I don't know, it's just a coincidence. A bunch of people have allegedly said that you stole from them. I don't know, they're all just conspiring against you, David, I'm not really sure. Anyways, the point I'm making here is, what the fuck have you done since I've left? Nothing. Why are we talking about something that happened in 2017 when I was 19 years old? Like, I don't know. Yes, you gave my family $1,000 or whatever it was, and I don't even remember if you actually did that or not. Let's just take your story at face value, which is saying a lot, okay? Sure, you did that. Okay, I gave my family $60,000, the same transaction when I was 19, okay? And again, what have you done now? Like, nobody cares about what you did 8 years ago, okay? What have you done today?
bragging that out on news or anything like that, but I'm being called out on a video, so I'm giving my version of the story here. Secondly, you're threatening to blast me all over. I guess you're going to do that no matter what. You've done that on social media already. One of your first posts on Instagram I replied to, and I haven't to any others. I haven't even watched them. I've been told that you've put out posts. Again, I watched your post once. I was asked to watch it by one of my team members, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And he's like, you need to reply. So I'm actually replying to that. But I guess my other point would be, if you really feel like you've been mistreated in the company, I'm going to call you on something. Instead of putting out videos, which I know you're probably going to do,
See, this is the thing with David, is no matter what I do, I'm immature. So for 2 years, when all this was going on, I didn't post a single video. I didn't post anything for 2 years. And I was immature that whole time. Now I post a video saying I've forgiven you and I've moved on, and please don't make me defend myself, because I will. And then you post 4 videos responding to that, and now he's already, proclaimed that by me responding to your 4 videos, I am immature. So no matter what I do in David's eyes, I am immature. There's nothing I can do to be mature. And that's why I've just accepted that a long time ago. I'm just perpetually immature.
I can only tell the truth on what people are going to say, and I'm not going to even keep on replying. I've got better things to do than to keep on replying to your videos. But
by the way, he said that and then continued to upload response videos. You can't make this shit up. Is this even real? Like, what is happening?
I'm going to call you out on this. Why don't you agree to arbitration in California? If you've been mistreated and I took money from you, then let's go to arbitration. But I'm telling you right now, in this company, you opened up another company, you took employees, you refused to close a debit card, you took tens of thousands of dollars from a Chase account on that debit card that were going toward things that had nothing to do with this company. I closed the account down, it drained all the finances. People in our higher level program got really screwed over because their funding.
All right, and so this is what David does, is he wants to take him back to arbitration, which, by the way, David, you already sued me over everything you just claimed and lost because none of it is true. So what is going to arbitration going to solve at this point? Please tell me. And I know David's response to this because I did comment on one of those videos, and his response was, well, you paying legal fees, how is that me losing? I don't know, David. Your lawsuit against me got thrown out of court. It got dismissed. I don't know how else to win a lawsuit other than that. It was completely ridiculous. You spent 9 months going nowhere with the lawsuit because everything you just said, A, none of it is true, which therefore means B, there's no proof because none of it is true, and C, we've already adjudicated all of this and you were found to be wrong. So if you would like to take me back to arbitration to get your ass kicked again the second time, okay, I'm going to have 2 championship rings every time I beat you in court.
For the programs you paid for went zero. I'd approached you on this. You changed passwords. You hid information. You refused to give me those passwords. I've got a ton of emails on this. And you just went completely into greed here, is I guess what I'm looking for. So I will be going to court and I will be showing all the evidence I have on that. I have a whole file on that. And I'm only skimming the surface here. I will be asking for the damages that you did to this company.
If you would like to take me to court again, I don't want to go to court. I don't think you want to go to court either. But if you're going to come on here and make all these claims about me with literally saying you have a bunch of evidence, zero evidence. By the way, when I drop my documentary, I actually have evidence, David. I have videos. I have meetings. I have documents. I have all types of stuff you don't even know that I have. So I don't want to do that. I would like for us to just move on. But you've responded 4 times to me. So now I'm going to respond to you.
There's people that have paid to be in a higher level program. So I easily could have bankrupted the company after what you did to it. I mean,
bro, you didn't even easily, you did bankrupt the company because you don't know how to run a fucking company. Okay. You did bankrupt the company. Okay. And you also launched a competing course. This is what's so funny. So part of David's lawsuit against me was that I had launched a competing business. Okay. And he was like, you know, you launched this business and it's competing with this other business that you own, even though we had already gone our separate ways and he just wasn't allowing me to walk away. But that's a whole other conversation. Well, I launched a competing business. So he sued me over that while he had launched a competing business. And meanwhile, while he's getting me to sign a non-compete, you know what he does? He launches a competing course. Yes, he launches a new business with a competing course. And not only is it a competing course, this guy literally made a new website, named it like The Tribe or something, launches a course and just takes the videos from the previous the course that we own and just puts them in. Doesn't even edit them. Doesn't change the logo. Doesn't change it. Just the same videos. That's how lazy this person is. You're going to steal the intellectual property from a company that I own, and you don't have the decency to try to hide it. You're just gonna make it obvious, okay? And so on screen right now, you can see how ridiculous. This was his course. I bought it. And by the way, okay, he still gives me shit about this now because he one day he calls me and he says, "Hey, John Von Calm." And I go, "What are you talking about?" This is like 8 months after I bought this course. I said, "Bro, my name's Spencer. What are you talking about?" "Hey, John Von Calm, blah, blah, blah." And then finally I put two new guys. "Oh, you're saying that because I bought your course and I used a fake name." Because of course I did, David. Because you think if I used my real name that you would just be like, "Oh yeah, leave him in there." No, okay? So I bought it with real money, and by the way, I didn't even charge back. That's how nice of a person I am. I gave him $500, didn't even charge back.
You had a debit card, you had the airsoft at $10,000, you had charges that were being charged, you refused to rectify them, and you had already left the company at this point. You had your new company, you had charges from your new company happening in our old company, which I have a ton of evidence of. In addition to that,
yeah, I mean, this goes without saying. Obviously, all of this is untrue. And David, if you had evidence of this, why didn't you bring it up in your court case? That was literally suing me for this exact reason. Because if you would have had evidence, if any of this was true, and you would have had evidence to show it, maybe things would have gone differently for you. Maybe the case wouldn't have been dismissed, right? But here we are, just making wild accusations, and you're not even showing any evidence. You're just saying you have a bunch of evidence. Okay, you showed evidence. I mean, let's be real. It wasn't even really evidence. It was like a zoomed-in check with my name on it. That doesn't really say anything. That could be a check for anything. And I don't know if that was from the house or not. That was 8 years ago. I don't even remember what happened, okay? But I'm taking you at face value. Sure, that's what happened. You gave me $1,000 to help buy my parents a house, and I gave them $60. Okay, cool. I don't know what that proves. But for all the talk of evidence, not a single piece of evidence has transpired on this video aside from that.
You went on Yahoo, you went on Yahoo News, you were paying for advertisements, you were talking about how big your new company was going to be. So I will say this, every single time you and I speak, and you mentioned in the last video, you talk about your relationship with Cole Gordon, your friendship, and then you talk about being involved in closers. It used to be, I think, 7 or 8 boardroom or 6-figure boardroom, and it's changing to closers. During our working relationship, you always mentioned that I needed to be more like Cole toward the end, and I actually shook the guy's hand once. He's an incredible guy. I'll never be on his level, man. The guy's an incredible sales guy. You took members from his team like you said you needed to do. You said they needed to be sales team in our company, and you went and you tried to form your own company in surplus funds, and it backfired on you. And you put out a YouTube advertisement, you put out a Yahoo advertisement.
I'm going to be honest with you, David. I really don't even know what you're talking about at this point. Like, I'm trying to react to this and be entertaining, and I don't even know what to say because this is just like belligerent.
You had all these ads going on about how big and how great and how powerful your company was going to be, and the bag blew up in your face. Meanwhile, you had tons of charges. I'm talking about in the tens of thousands of dollars happening in our company, and I couldn't get you to reverse any of them. I couldn't get you to stop them. I had to get legal action. You were refusing to do anything.
And again, zero proof, nothing showing any charges. You had to take legal action. Okay, well, all that should be documented. Show us the legal action that you had to take. It doesn't exist. Oh, wait. I get it now, David. I understand. What you're claiming here, David, is the reason why the company went bankrupt after I left is not because of your complete ineptability to run any company at all. It's not because you're a terrible business leader. It's not because you have no idea how to market and sell. It's not because you have no idea what you're doing in general. That has nothing to do with the fact with why the company went bankrupt. The company went bankrupt because there were these phantom charges for me after I had resigned from the company 9 months prior. That's why the company went bankrupt. It has nothing to do with you, David. You're the victim here, okay? And by the way, the charges that are very well documented, yes, you have tons of documentation that you've never shown anybody. You've just been sitting on them. Even during the court case, you're like, I'm just going to save these for later. I'm going to save these for a YouTube video where I'm not going to show them there either. I'm just going to reference them, right? That's why the company went under. It has nothing to do with you, David. It's always everyone else, right? It's Spencer's fault that the company went under 9 months after he left. That's what happened.
To do anything, and it really cost this company a lot of money. So I'm calling you on it right now. If you've been mistreated, stop with the videos, stop with everything. I'm calling you on it. So first of all, please show me where you've bought me a house, because I'd really like to see it. Secondly, take me to arbitration. It's a very inexpensive court. If I lose, I will be the first one to go on video and acknowledge that you were right and I was wrong. But I'm telling you right now, I've got a pretty hefty file on this. Your law team told me that they were amazed at how poorly you left the company and the damage you did. They said, wow.
What you just claimed, David, is that my lawyer told you how amazed they were of the state that I left the company. What the hell are you talking about? First of all, even if that was true, which it is absolutely not true, I left the company in a fine, in the state that it was in. I didn't do anything bad to it. I didn't do anything good to it. I just left it and said, you're the CEO now, okay? And which we agreed to beforehand, okay? But regardless of all of that, why would my lawyer ever tell you that? Like, that's how you know this guy's just such full of shit. Like, what are we talking about? Like, my lawyer called you, David, personally, which is not, I don't think that's legal, but he called you and said, you know what, David, I really feel bad for you. Spencer did leave the company in a bad spot, you know, like, I really feel bad for you. But by the way, because you have no evidence, your case is also dismissed, right? So, like what we're living in fantasy land now.
I got some information at the very end. We in part of the settlement that we had.
There was no settlement. You lost. Don't lie now. You are lying, sir. There was zero settlement. Oh, and by the way, I already know this is gonna be your proof in the next video if you do one, which hopefully you don't, but you're gonna do one. Your proof is gonna be my emails emailing you, asking you to settle, which absolutely I did. I didn't want to deal with this case at all. I was like, man, this is a bullshit case, and I don't want to spend any money defending myself for something stupid. Here, I'll throw you 10 grand so you can pay your house payment for a couple months and move on with my life, okay? But you didn't allow me to do that. So we went all the way through to the end. You got nothing. You walked away with nothing, and you had to pay as many legal fees as I did, and I didn't have to pay you anything. And that's your fault. I offered you money, okay, for this to just move on, even though it was a ridiculous lawsuit, even though I knew I was going to win, because I don't like wasting time, David.
I forced you to pay a few things, and you only paid a portion of the damages you did to this company, only a portion.
Oh, yes. Actually, David, you forced me to pay the debt that you agreed to pay, right? You took the money. I have you on video saying that if you took the money, it's on you and only you.
I will take personal responsibility if I have to use part of the line of credit for that event. I will take personal liability for it.
So well, hold on here. Let's just be very clear. You're removing any liability for me, any of my holding companies, anything related to me. You're saying if you use the line of credit, that is 100% on you, and you're withdrawing any liability for me whatsoever at all, and you're 100% in agreement with that.
If I use the line of credit for the events, well, at all at this point. If I use the line of credit at all, it'll be on me and not on you, and you'll have to worry about it being on me.
Not on my holding companies, not on anything in related.
It'll be fully on me. I'll be responsible for it. So we'll have that verbal agreement.
And then you forced me to pay it back. You did do that, and by force, by the way. Here's actually what happened, ladies and gentlemen. He just stopped making the payments because he's broke. That's what happened, right? Now, I will say I'm assuming that he's broke part, but from everything I hear, that's probably the likely thing. So allegedly, David, you're broke. Okay, you're a brokey, allegedly. So I had to bail you out and settle a whole separate thing, the loan that you took. I had to settle that with Chase on your behalf. And by the way, when they asked for your financials, because you took all of the money, I took $0 of it, and I paid for it on your behalf, $70,000 or $80,000 of my money. Think about that. You're in your late 50s, and you got to get bailed out by a dude in his early 20s. Like, what a bitch, you know? Just bitch move. Anyways, when I bailed you out, like I always do, you know, here comes Spencer Van, the hero that, you know, you never deserved, but here I am. They asked for your financials. You wouldn't respond for months. And then you responded with, quote, I'm asking for forgiveness from Chase, like loan forgiveness. Okay? That's actually what you put in your email. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You could threaten to make all the videos on me that you want. That's your choice, and I can't stop you from doing that. I look at this video and I look at everything I could debunk. Everything you said in this video I could debunk. So I'm calling you on the first thing. on the house situation.
Again, all I said in the first video, literally, all I said in the first video was that you took money from me and I don't want to talk about it and I've forgiven you. That is what I said in the first video. That is my only claim. I guess the only other claim is that I made you millions of dollars, which I did. Factually, we owned 50-50 of a company that generated millions of dollars. I don't know how much more accurate I could have gotten with my statement. I mean, do you want me to put the exact number in sales that we, I don't, what else do you want me to say here?
On the house situation, I'd really like to see proof of that. And then secondly, take me to arbitration. Let's meet up before a judge and let's see what the judge says. Now, I will end this with you. Ironically, I've been praying for your Christian faith for some time now, for the last couple weeks.
So I haven't talked to David in about a year. All right. He hasn't said anything about me publicly. I haven't said anything about him publicly. I posted a YouTube return video. And of course, the whole audience knows about me and David. And I have to address and say something, which is why I mentioned David's name. It's the first time I talked about him in over a year. First time, I haven't talked to him at all. Okay. But somehow in the last few weeks, he's been praying for me to get closer to God. I don't know, that seems a bit weird, David. Like, why are you praying for someone you haven't conversed with and that is your sworn enemy, according to you, okay, that you sued and lost and all of this stuff, to come, I mean, if you have, man, that's a beautiful thing, but I don't buy that. That's ridiculous.
And you're saying that you're of the Christian faith and you've forgiven me. I've prayed that I've forgiven you. I don't know if I fully have. I hope I have.
Well, I would say, considering that me in a video saying that I have forgiven you and that, you know, I don't want to talk about it, and then you responding 4 times and like posting like 35 minutes of content about a 30-second clip, I would say, David, I don't think you've forgiven me. And I understand I did say I've forgiven you, and genuinely I have, David, but I'd have to defend myself at some point. I can't forgive you and allow you to slander my name, right? So this is why I'm making this video.
I don't know if I'd be at the point where I could greet you. You might not even want to be greeted by me, but I don't think I could walk up and greet you at this point. I hope one day I'll be able to, or if I'm ever sitting down having a cup of coffee and I see you getting coffee, I'd literally like pick up the tab or something. I don't know if I'd ever do that or not, but I hope one day, like literally I could see you and just say like, hey, and like act like totally forgive. And that's what I'm being called to do here. So that's something that I'm working on with inside there. But yeah, I think other than that, I think I've covered everything that needs to be covered. I mean, I've only skimmed it, but I saw you in the beginning of the company. You always talked about being in a magazine. It turns out you had an image consultant because they approached me. You always made yourself out to be bigger than what you were.
Yeah, I don't know why David loves this point so much, but he loves to point out that we hired a PR firm to advertise the company. I don't know, that's a pretty basic move, David. Most companies, when they get big enough, they hire a PR firm and they get in magazine articles and like all that. Yes, we paid a PR firm to advertise the business and advertise me as the face of the business because I was the face of the business. It was in all the ads, all the videos, everything, okay? Outward facing. Not talking about the course, although I was in a lot of videos there too, but I'm talking about our advertising, our marketing. I was the face of all of that. So I'm not sure what you're, like, again, all of these like gotcha moments, it's like, yeah, okay, we hired a PR firm. Okay, you know, like, you should probably do that too, David. I mean, it seems like you need some help advertising your new business.
Then your claim to fame at the very end was working with Cole Gordon. I needed to be more like the guy. Like I said, I never was or anything like that. And now you have a great claim to fame. I think you said you took a hospital and you took it. You opened up other units. Congratulations. You're probably in high demand. You probably have better things to do than make out videos about people that you're resentful because you didn't get your way. But if you've been damaged and you had to hear no for the first time in your life, I'm calling you on it. Man up, take me to arbitration. I'll meet you there. I'll come in with all my evidence and may the best man win. And I'm not worried about it. And literally, this is an invite. I don't enjoy this video. I'm not going to make it public. I'm going to put it where you could see it. I have your phone number out of my phone. I've moved on. I would like you to do the same, is move on. No, I'm not mad, but I've moved on. 3.5 years later, I'm being told that there's a YouTube video about me. I mean, it's been 3.5 years since we've worked together. It's going on 4 years.
It's weird to say you've moved on, and then after you post this, you post 3 more videos. That's kind of weird. But beyond that, let's just address this 3.5 years thing. It has not been 3.5 years, almost 4 years since we worked together. I resigned from surplusfund.com at the beginning of 2023. Okay, so it's been 2.5 years, right? The lawsuit ended at the end of 2023, and I paid off the remainder of the loan that you stole from me and the company at the end of 2024. So it hasn't been that long. Like, I don't know. It's like, oh, it's been decades since we worked together. It's like, no, dude, like it's been 8 months or 9 months. Like, I don't know why you're trying to make a claim like it's been 5 years or something. It wasn't that long ago. So, and again, my video was not about you. It was about my return to YouTube. And I just mentioned, hey, I don't work with David anymore, and I don't work with him because he took money from me and we had disagreements. That is literally what I said. Go watch the video.
I've told you before to grow up and move on. Grow up and move on. We sometimes have to take responsibility. I force you to take responsibility. I put my name on the reputation, but when you did all the damages of this company, you drained the finances pretty badly with your debit card that you refused to cancel. You changed all the passwords. You did a lot of damage to this company. A lot of people, and I still have a few people pissed off, and you know it and you love it.
Where are the people? Where's the charges? Where's the evidence? Where's all the legal? Oh, that's right. You have none of it because it's not real.
Talk about damages you've done to the company. Instead of bankrupting the company and exiting out and telling people they were screwed over, I've been slowly paying people back with deals. I'm continuing to do that. So if we go to arbitration, I'm telling you right now, I will bring those cases before the judge. I will show him how the accounts got depleted besides the commissions you got for those. And I will ask for those people to be fully reimbursed. I will ask for the damages of the company, all the credit cards, all the passwords, all the fictitious names you did, all the falsified accounts, the Google ads, all the stuff. And now I'm getting into little nitty gritty here. All the speculations of you coming in and making allegations, but you yourself coming in with falsified information, denying it, getting caught on it, one of the emails matching to a fictitious name. You have a lot of dirt in this company. And again, I don't like exposing this on video. So you could take...
I literally don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about with the hospital. I don't know what you're talking about with this. This is just incoherent rants with zero documents, zero receipts, zero evidence, zero nothing. You're just completely making things up to bash my name, which is why I'm responding to this video. Because I'm refusing to allow you, someone who just wants to spew a bunch of nonsense on the internet, and by the way, can't even do it on their own YouTube channel. Again, can you grow some balls and do it on your own YouTube channel? Why are you doing it on some burner account, okay? But you're going to spew all this nonsense about me, okay? So the world thinks I did these things because people just believe what they listen to. Well, I'm going to correct the state of record here and tell you all of this is false. And not only is it false, it's 100% false. We've already talked about this in court and you lost. So I don't know what you're even, like, what is there left for me to do other than post a video and say, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, and show the audience the little bits. I don't want to give all my documentary away, David, but little, bits and pieces of receipts that I have. Because, David, I'm sitting on like 100 gigs, like gigabytes, 100 plus gigabytes. I think, don't fact check me, but it's a lot of gigabytes of evidence against you, okay, that I haven't used. I'm ready to go nuclear. I got the red button in front of me. I'm ready to push it, okay? You better watch out, pal. Okay, I'm ready.